Opposite word. Build. The opposite is destroy. Active. The opposite is lazy. Fast. The opposite is slow. Angel. The opposite is devil. Rich. The opposite is poor. Alive. The opposite is dead. Up. The opposite is down. Wide. The opposite is narrow. Much. The opposite is little. Forget. The opposite is remember. Save. The opposite is dangerous. Strong. The opposite is weak. Even. The opposite is odd. Male. The opposite is female. Rainy. The opposite is sunny. Fresh. The opposite is stable. Offline. The opposite is online. Wrong. The opposite is right. Win. The opposite is loss. Enemy. The opposite is friend. Bad. The opposite is good. New. The opposite is old. Present. The opposite is absence. Tall. The opposite is short. Pass. The opposite is fail. Open. The opposite is close. Question. The opposite is answer. Dry. The opposite is wet. Thick. The opposite is thin. Long. The opposite is short. Straight. The opposite is curly. Before. The opposite is after. Cold. The opposite is hot. In. The opposite is out. Difficult. The opposite is easy. Sick. The opposite is healthy. Sour. The opposite is cake. Hard. The opposite is soft. Awake. The opposite is asleep. Alike. The opposite is different. Substrate. The opposite is addition. Countable. The opposite is uncountable. Sad. The opposite is happy. Left. The opposite is right. Fat. The opposite is slim. Light. The opposite is heavy. King. The opposite is queen. Clean. The opposite is dirty. Ugly. The opposite is beautiful. Single. The opposite is married.